All right, now let's head to the crypto space and see what's happening there, see how much of the tariffs have sipped into that. And we see for the headlines that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission officially begins its review of Trump media's proposed dual Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, which aims to provide 75% exposure to Bitcoin and 25% exposure to Ethereum. Well, the ETF's launch would coincide with the growing momentum in the crypto ETF space and speculation about a more streamlined SEC approval process. While Trump media's application progressed, the SEC has delayed Fidelity's Solana ETF by reopening public commentary. The ETF's valuation will rely on the CME of reference rates, with Bitcoin tracked via the CME of Bitcoin reference rate and Ethereum via the CME. And we've seen Ethereum actually surging in the last few days compared to Bitcoin. We'll have a conversation on that with Gilbert in a couple of minutes. But before that, also there's another headline. Abu Dhabi has issued its initial blockchain bond and is partnering with the first Abu Dhabi Bank and HSBC. HSBC seems to be moving in the blockchain area. This marks a key milestone in the region's digital financial direction led by Abu Dhabi Securities and Exchange. So imagine a bond, in blockchain bond. Interesting. The world is getting more interesting. No paper, no middlemen, runs on a secure taper-proof ledger. So interesting, and we see the UAE really pushing the frontiers in that. And then also another headline that we have: Meta Planet accelerates Bitcoin ambitions with aggressive growth strategy. That is also another headline. The Tokyo-based company Meta Planet aspires to exponentially increase its Bitcoin holdings. This is not the first. Meta Planet not the first. So they intend to go from 15,555 BTC to 210 by next 2 years, 2027. This ambitious strategy involves utilizing their Bitcoin reserves as collateral in acquisitions, including the ventures into digital banking. Let's talk to Gilbert Jokpata on some of this and a whole lot more. Gilbert, good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Ms. Ine. Great to be here.
Good to have you. So we see, some institutional investors stating their strategy to increase holdings of Bitcoin. I wonder why at this time. Is the global uncertainty part of the driving factor, you think?
Okay, I think what we're having is beyond, global uncertainty. What we're seeing as well is the market maturing. Governments of the world have either fully regulated the cryptocurrency market or have a framework, for the cryptocurrency market, to have a legal playing ground. We've also had countries also making their countries tax-free. We've seen countries as well making friendly crypto policy and causing a very major migration of crypto capitalists to their country. We even have major headquarters, despite Donald Trump wanting crypto to be the headquarters, wanting US to be the headquarters of crypto and those bold statements. But we still have Dubai and Singapore leading, including Malta. So we're seeing the market come into full maturity. Then at this time, we are not just having, we are also having traditional companies, having cryptocurrency holding. And recently we haven't seen a classical example of of companies that have crypto in their holdings, their stock having massive surge. You could see it with MicroStrategy, Coinbase hitting multiple all-time high, Marathon also doing over 1,000%. I think recently is Bitmine announcing adding Ethereum to their holdings, and the coin went ahead. Their stock went ahead to do over 3,000% in just a matter of days. So we are also having family office, and major institutional traders now have it, including ETFs. So there's a legal playing ground where heavy institutions can play into the market. That is why we're seeing this level of adoption and also buy-in. It's beyond even global uncertainty at this time.
And we see Ethereum giving Bitcoin a run for its money. Is it possible Ethereum can it overtake Bitcoin? Do you see that?
Well, one thing I always see is this, debate between Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is a store of value. The thing is that Bitcoin is seen and has showed us over a period of time that it is digital gold. However, Ethereum is more like the digital fuel that is powering smart contract, DeFi, stable coins, and also NFTs. So holding Ethereum give you an entire exposure to the blockchain economy, not just one. So I think that Ethereum is going to do its thing. And recently, if you see the number of activity happening in the Ethereum ecosystem, from developers activity, staking activity, and seeing institution positioning as well, I think that Ethereum is ready to be one of the assets that is going to lead the next phase of the cryptocurrency market. But then I think it's kind of not great always comparing, this competition between Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is the store of value. They are both doing great things in the market, but they are meant like they actually serve two different futures. Bitcoin being the digital store of value, while Ethereum is more like the fuel that powers the digital economy on blockchain.
Yeah, well, I think it would be difficult for people to stop comparing, especially when you see, the movement, and you just don't have a choice but to compare. But what for you is the next price driver at this time? We know the tariff talks are on, letters have been distributed, August 1 has been given. Do we see that moving prices in the crypto space?
Okay, if you look at the market, I think that there are lots of signals that is giving us anticipation of what is to come. Let's look at technically. Bitcoin has flashed the golden cross. The golden cross is the most historically accurate signals, in the cryptocurrency market. We've recently also had the inverse head and shoulder printed. Presently, Bitcoin has also formed a bullish flag. These are all bigger time frame bullish signals in the market. But then we need a triggering event, at this time. And structurally, if you look, first of all, I think there's this data that came out recently of about 1 trillion in profits the market is sitting on recently. But I think that even though we may test the support of the bullish flag, the market is very, very positioned for some upward movement in any time from now. But then we need that major triggering event, which I think that is going to be, if we could, with a large level of certainty, anticipate what the next rate cuts will be. A good thing, the U.S. initial jobless claim will be out today. They are forecast of about 235K jobs. However, we need this so that we can gouge in and price in the Fed's decision in regards to interest rate, which anticipatedly we're looking at September. I think that once we have a fair interest rate decision, this will be a very major triggering event. However, I think that once we have this retest, regardless, the market will form an all-time high. But then we need a major triggering event, which I think that the interest rate decision will be that triggering event.
All right, except it's another hold, Gilbert. But thank you so much for your time and views on the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me.